Hi, Clay here with another video. It's been a while since I've done one of these. A lot's happened since we signed Simon Dingwer. The home top came out today. It got released yesterday. It's a very, very smart top. It's based on the Patrick's 1992 one, I think it is. I think that's the year. I'll do a proper review of that next week when it eventually comes. As I say, a lot of interest and a lot of players have been linked with about 100 players since a fortnight ago, really. The two most advanced ones at the minute seem to be Granit Xhaka from Bayer Leverkusen. Got told last night that apparently we've upped our bid to about, including add-ons, about 15 million quid, which is roughly the 20 million euros Leverkusen are after. So I have to wait and see if that gets agreed or not. And we're still in discussions with Bologna about John Lasumi. Apparently we've bid 20 million euros for him. And it's a case of whether we can get the add-ons and everything like that, a deal agreed with Bologna, which I think we might actually, because it doesn't look that too far apart. See, positions we're looking for, still looking for a striker, still looking for a centre-half or two, goalkeeper. And it seems like we're after a winger as well, after the deal for Armand Loriente fell through last weekend, due to his agent being a prick, but that's what agents do. I know we're spending a lot of money, and we will continue to spend a lot of money, but I think, in my opinion, the free agent market is still something we could look at. And I'm not saying we will go for free agents or anything like that, but there's a few players out there that could be good squad options for the club and save the club a bit of money in the long run. I'm just going to go over 5, and this is what the video is about. There's 5 free agents I think Sunderland could possibly go for, and would provide good squad options for the football club. 2/3, depending on people leave, which we'll have to wait and see about that. But I don't think that we necessarily be bad options. First one, if you watch my video at the beginning of the summer about who I target, who I think Sunderland would target for transfers, he appeared on this list as well, and that was Yvonne Mavogo, 31-year-old goalkeeper. He's made 385 career appearances. He's been capped 11 times for Switzerland, and he was managed by Regis Libri at Lorient. He's number 1 for a couple of years. And Regis loves a former player. I still can't shake the fact that I think Sunderland will possibly sign Ilham Melier, which I hope not. And I don't think I would say this in England in this, which I think we might, but that's just me being silly. I think it wouldn't be a bad option to come in as maybe to push Patterson as a good understudy to potentially be number 1 if Patterson isn't up for it. Or if we do bring another goalkeeper in as a starter, which I think we will, then if Patterson decides to go, he'd be a good option to come in just to cover and play cup games and etc. So it looks like the club are wanting a squad based off where we can compete on all levels. And I think Mavogo would provide that. Obviously, he's an experienced player. He'd bring European experience, international experience to the football club if we chose to go for him. So I don't think it'd be a bad deal at all. The fullback areas, I have 2. One's right back, one's a left back. If Huggins was to leave, which apparently behind the scenes he's very, very well liked by Regis Libri and the coaching team, but if they felt his best thing is to go out there and get minutes and play regularly instead of being a backup to Trey Hume, then I would possibly go for Vladimir Soufal, the former West Ham United right back. He's 32-year-old. He's played 455 times in his career. 147 of them were in the Premier League with West Ham. He won the Conference League with West Ham. He's been a sturdy unit for West Ham since he signed for them. So I think it'd be a very clever sign if we went to go for that if Huggins was to leave. However, if Huggins didn't, I'd be more than happy with Niall Huggins as Sunderland's backup right back this year. Obviously, he can play both sides. So I might cancel out this next one. There's only a Sunderland side of cashing on Dennis Serkin if he was to leave. If he wasn't going to sign a new contract, and obviously we've obviously signed Reynildo to play there, I think he'll be starting left back this year, and that's Sergio Reguilon. He's only 28, so he's still a decent age. Bear in mind there is the advocate for he's a free agent, a 28-year-old. Must be something wrong there. He's played 268 times in his career, 81 of them from the Premier League across 3 teams, from Tottenham, Manchester United and Brentford. He's played 56 games in La Liga for the 2 Madrid clubs, Real and Atletico, and he's also played for Sevilla as well. He's played in the Champions League, he's played in the Europa League, so he's an experienced head. And obviously he has that little bit of Premier League experience as well, which is maybe what the squad is lacking. But again, it's the same as the right back one. If Dennis Serkin was to stay, I'd be more than happy with that. I think Dennis Serkin, he showed glimpses of what he was beginning of last year, where he could be a Premier League left back, and obviously he's been linked with Spurs. And there is something about Dennis Serkin, but then again, the thing that hangs over Dennis is his fitness. Can he stay fit for a prolonged period of time? Obviously playing less games this year. Obviously having someone like Reynaldo in there can obviously help him. He's got experience, so he won't have to play every single week. And I don't think he'll be first choice this year, unfortunately, for Dennis. But we'll have to wait and see. Centre-back, I do think we'll bring two in. I think I wouldn't shock us at all if we bought two in for big money. But if we didn't, and we chose to go for a cheap option to come in as a squad option, because potentially we might need three, never mind two, depending how bad Lugo Nayan's injury is. And obviously you've got Adji Elise, who's constantly injured. And Dan Ballard, to be honest, as much as I love Dan Ballard and how great Dan Ballard was the back end of last year, he does have a dodgy injury record as well. And I wouldn't be against going for Victor Lindelof on a free transfer, mate. Yes, he's the butt of jokes for Manchester United supporters, but at the end again, Manchester United are the butt of everybody's jokes. He's 30-year-old. He's played 493 times in his career, 194 of them crucially in the Premier League. So he's been at Man United since about 2020. I think Mourinho assigned him, and he's played 194 times. He's been a bit part option towards the back end of his last few years at Man United, but he's a Sweden international. He's plays every single international for Sweden, so it must be something about him. He has been linked to Turkey and West Ham, and as the same as Reguilon, he's got Champions League experience, he's got Europa League experience. It's for a free agent, I think that'd be a very, very astute signing, but obviously he'd come in and people would question it as well. But I don't think it'd be that bad of a deal to bring in, to be honest. And we're also after a striker, and as much as I think Mayenda and Isidore can make the step up, obviously the Premier League is a lot different kettle of fish to the Championship, and I'd just say the club obviously targeting a striker, depending who they go for. We have been linked to the likes of Matthias Ablein. We've been linked to the Leon striker, the Georgian. I am never going to have a chance of pronouncing his surname. We have been linked with free agents like Jamie Vardy and Dominic Calvert-Lewin, which is not the ones I would go for personally. There's people talk about wanting us to go for Callum Wilson. Again, no. The lad I'd go for, he fits our remit of he's lost his way and he needs to find a home as such. He is only 27, but the same with Reguilon, he's free agent at 27. Does that say more about the player than it does about the clubs that are releasing him? And that's Luka Jovic. Obviously, he was very, very highly rated at Frankfurt before he then went to Real Madrid, which absolutely murdered his career. He went to Real Madrid, I think it was after Frankfurt had that good run in Europe. I think when they got the Champions League semi-final. And I think Rebic left, he left to Real Madrid, and his career has just bombed since. He very rarely played for Real Madrid. He only got 4 goals for Real Madrid, and I think 2 of them were like 4 years apart. And he's got 86 goals in 311 career games. He has rebuilt his career a little bit in Italy with spells at Fiorentina and AC Milan. And at 27, he has a lot of time on his side. Would he come cheap? No, for wages wise. But he's a different profile to what we have with Mayenda and Isidore. He's a target man type. He likes to get in around the 6-yard box to get tap-ins and stuff. Whereas Mayenda and that like to run the channels, I don't think he particularly does. He got 6 goals last year for AC Milan in all comps. After having, as I say, rebuilt his career in Italy with a Fiorentina spell and signed for AC Milan. I think it could be, maybe it's a clever sign if they looked at it. He has been linked to teams abroad like Cruz Azul and Real Oviedo and another team in Spain that I haven't wrote down in my notes. Shame on me. But yeah, he's, as I say, he's still only 27. It could be one of them where you look at and go, that might not work out. He might have the attitude to come play for a team like Sunderland, who, let's be real, are going to be in a relegation fight no matter how good of a squad we build. That's the remit, is to stay up. But he could also be a very, very clever one if he came in, rebuilt himself, and similar to what Patrick Roberts was like when he came to Sunderland, because Patrick Roberts was lost when he came to Sunderland. And it's similar to Jovic, he's lost and he could come to Sunderland. Not necessarily have to be first choice, because I think my entering this door get given the opportunity to play, but to come in to be a squad option and to see what he can do. If he can go and get 7 to 8 goals in the Premier League, sign on a free, but obviously you're getting your money's worth really, and you're on more. But then in say 27, you got to afford him a 2-year deal with an extension that only takes him to 30. So if he does do well, you can still sell him on and you're getting him on a free, so you're making money on him, full stop. So that's it. Don't get it wrong. I know it's a bit late in the window at the top of our free agents. There is only 2 or 3 weeks left to the beginning of the season. But for the players that are still available and for the money Sunderland are touted to spend, if we did need to cut the spending back a little bit, which I don't think we will, then the free agent market's there to use. Sunderland have used it already, and I wouldn't be surprised if we go into it again. And these are just 5 players that I would potentially look at and go for. Hearts tomorrow, to rebuild on the 3 previous pre-season results, which you can see in your in the bottom corner, and we'll just have to go from there. Still a lot of pre-season to go. You got Hearts and tomorrow, you got Hull on Tuesday or Wednesday, then you've got Real Betis the following week at the Stadium of Light. I see it's coming thick and fast. I mean, I think it's eventually dawned on people that Sunderland are a Premier League club, and it's nice to see some fans taking note of the business Sunderland are doing, because I think we're doing very, very astute, good business at the present moment in time, especially when you look at teams like West Ham, who have signed, they've signed Diouf at left back and Kyle Walker-Peters on a free, but they haven't really done much. They've lost a lot of play. They lost Kudus, the best player. They may have to lose Paqueta due to whatever ban he's going to get. You still don't know if Jared Bowen's going to attract interest from somebody. Then you look at Fulham, they've bought a 3rd choice goalkeeper. So we're giving ourselves the best shot, and I'm more sure there's a lot more business to come. And it wouldn't shock us at all if I go and edit this video, put it out on Sunderland and go and sign somebody. Then I'll have to do another one, which I'm more sure you'll all love seeing my lovely face all over the internet. Thanks for the support over pre-season. I'll keep the videos coming as quickly as I can. I just don't see the point of putting them out every single week, because a lot of things happen, so you end up missing stuff and have to put another one out, so put them all out together. Thanks again. If everyone's going up to Edinburgh, safe trip, have a nice time. Hopefully someone will get a good win and gain some confidence. Enjoy your weekend. How are the lads?